Hey there, WordPress wizards! You know, I'm always digging for the freshest tools in website building world. And guess what? I just stumbled upon Builderius, a brand spanking new page builder that's already got my attention. Now stick around for my first impressions and let's see if this could be the next big thing to shake up WordPress design. So let's check it out. As you already know, I like to use InstaWP for testing out my websites. And if you would like to use InstaWP as well, there's a link down in the description which takes you to this place where you pay $29 a year for the staging and testing environment. It's for 4 staging websites, 3 gigs of storage, and allows you to have 3 templates. So if you want to try out InstaWP, check out the link in the description down below. Let's continue into looking at Builderius. So we'll add a new site, then we select our version, and for our next step, we just create a website. There we go. As you can see, in seconds, our website is already created. Then we press Magic Login, and it will take us to our website. And here we have it, our WordPress dashboard. Then we add a new plugin. And the fun thing is that Builderius is already available in the repository of WordPress. Here it is. There will be a free version in the future as well, and I'm very excited about this fresh approach. So let's install this one and also activate it, of course. And let's have a look what Builderius has available for us. It allows us to start from templates or go to pages. We can add reusable codable components. We have CSS at our fingertips, and there's a very nice surprise on how to use a developing and a release version of this. I will show how this works. First, let's create a coming soon page. We go to our templates and we create a template. Now here you have predefined sections that we can already set what kind of template it will be. Will it be a blog, index, archives, post, pages, or for the entire website? Now I want to create a coming soon page. So we'll click entire website and press save and open. And here we are greeted with the Builderius page builder. On the left hand side, as you are used to, you have all your elements that you can add, even your global components. And the global components are very awesome because those are the footer and the header, but it could also be other things. On the right hand side, you have your elements that are visible on the page. You have your selectors, which you can style. For instance, if you want to change your heading, you press H1 and you can make those changes in the typography. You also have some templates, but those are only for the pro version. And you have CSS variables that are already installed and added. Now let's build out our page. We go to our elements. We'll add in a section, for instance. So we'll be adding a header. And when you press Shift and then click, it will add it in the selected container. And we'll be adding a paragraph as well. We change our name to Coming Soon. And this should be in H1. And I also would like this to be centered. So what we can do is go to styles. And in here, you see that there's a selector already available. It is the root selector. And what it does, it selects the element that is currently active. Now, a little bit of insider knowledge. I know that they're going to change the name because the name can be a little bit difficult to understand, but at least know how this is right now. What we can do is also add our own styling. So for instance, if we want this to be our coming soon section, and we have our coming soon container wrapper, and we have our coming soon header, and we'll be adding the coming soon paragraph. Now we have all our classes in there. And as you can see on the right hand side, it's also reflected there that you know that you are selecting the right one. I see that I make a mistake here. And now we've added all the classes that we need to make the changes. The reason why I use classes is because it's reusable throughout the website. Now in this case, it will be only for this coming soon header, but I think it's a generally good approach to start using classes so you get familiar with it. Now I want this to be centered. So what we do, we open up the typography accordion and we press center. It will center align our text. That's also another way we can do that by selecting our container, and instead of we can set it then to align to center by using the text align. We need to unset it for this one. So And if we unset it for our class, you see that it is now nicely centered. Now this starts to look like something, but I also want to have this section in the center of the screen. So what we can do is go in here, select our flex, and we want this to be flex. We want the direction to be the column. And then we want to align everything in the center and justify everything in the center so that the box which contains our heading and our paragraph is nicely centered. But we don't see it centered right now. And the reason is because we need to set a width and height. So let's set a height of minimum 100 SVH. And there we go. We have now our coming soon page. Now, because this is the coming soon page and there's no other pages that we have right now, we can just remove our header and our footer. And perhaps we just insert our logo in here as well. So we select an image. We drag it up because we want the image to be the first thing that we show. We go to content and we can select our image. Now here we have our media library. There's nothing uploaded right now. So we upload something, for instance, a nice picture of me. And as you can see, this is already a nice breath of fresh air. You can do everything within the page builder. You don't need to leave it. So we uploaded an image to the media library. And then we select insert. And there we go. We have my nice face here and there. Now you can create another class, but you don't have to. I can also show how we can do that just using the root. So we go to the sizing because I want this to be a different size. For instance, 1.5 rem to make it a smaller. Maybe this is just a bit too small. And I also like the corners to be rounded. So we go to borders and we round off the border. We can see here that we have a border radius, and when we press this icon, and they are all linked. And here we see a nice blue button. If we press that, you see all the variables that are set. Let's search for radius to make our lives a little bit easier. And let's add 10 VXL, which is very large, and make sure that this will have a nice rounded border. Now, when we hit save, the page is saved. And if we check out the page itself, it is nicely visible. If we check out the page that is viewed, it is this page, is the author page. And if we take a look at our website, we see that this is showing the coming soon page. But if we look without being logged in, you see that there's still the old website being shown. And we don't want that. So how can we fix that? As you can see in the top right here, we have Builderius dev, which stands for the development version. So if we go back to our Builderius environment, and we see when we press our icon that you have releases. When we press releases, we see here that we can create a new release. We type in version 0.1, and this can be a different kind of versioning depending on what kind of versioning you have preference for. We can add a tag, so instance initial, and then you can add a release description, publishing the coming soon page. Here you can select what you want to release, include in the release, and what you don't want to include. Now this only contains the Builderius changes that have been made, so be aware of that. And we can select what we want to add, and if we press this one, it will publish our release to the live version. So now this is active, and if we copy this and paste it again inside of our private browser where we're not logged in, you see that we now have the coming soon page selected. So it's very nice that you don't have to have a different staging website just to try out the pages that you're building. Now this coming soon page is live. Now we can go ahead and make changes to our dev environment. Now I hope that Builderius and the demo that I showed gives you an idea what Builderius can do. Now I'm very excited to see how this project will continue on, and I think having a free option that is already this powerful, even as powerful as Bricks Builder if you ask me, it's really nice to see. Now I haven't explored everything yet for Builderius in this video, but if you want to check Builderius out, there will be a link down in the description below, and you can also watch me struggle during a live stream. And if you're interested in that, then watch this video next. And as always, thank you for watching and keep designing.